Hey everybody, it's just Fun82 and I just want to do a little short informational video on something that I had problems with. So, this is a Commodore keyboard, probably originally for a Vic-20, but it was on a Commodore 64 I got. Now, you may not be able to tell, but there's actually a very big difference between these keys. Some of you might, but this is a Eurostyle keyboard. It's one of the earlier models of Commodore keyboard, and I'm not sure if you can see the very, let me try and line up the Y's there. There's a very big difference between the fonts on these, and it's fairly noticeable. There's another thing that's wrong with this, and I say wrong because good Lord, trying to get parts. So you're all familiar with standard Commodore keys. They're, U-shaped, and they cover 2 points on the pad. Well, apparently, these are not like that. Now, I can find very little information on this online, but I'm also very new to this, and, I'm just kind of doing it as a hobby, playing around with Commodore 64 repairs. And if you notice, they have the single point of contact, and yeah, it's the same on all of them. I mean, this is a Commodore 64, or at least Commodore circuit board. Was there a manufacturer on this? The only markings on it are FK3, as far as I can tell. Unless it's on the back, and I've just missed it entirely every time. Oh, there's an upside down number. I'm sure you can read that. I also liked it because it has a cable strain relief on it, but no other model did. Well, like this one. It's normally held in place with a zip tie. So, these are not great keyboards. Unlike the standard ones, the pads here don't really wear down. You can't use the trick of rubbing it on a piece of paper to help it become a little more conductive or anything like that. It's not worth saving. I mean, especially because I'm missing one key. I'm gonna keep this though, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of like it in the it's very broken way. God, someone mentioned it was probably somewhere between a Commodore Vic-20 and a Commodore PET, like some intermediate step in the production line where they were trying to decide. There's so many Commodore keyboard revisions, it's actually kind of interesting. I wish someone would do like an in-depth review of all of them to give a little bit of information. I gave up on this thing so much that I actually took the wiring harness off of it to use on an entirely different keyboard. I had to desolder the whole wiring harness, but again, frustration. This nice C64C keyboard is missing like 2 buttons, and then it'll have all of it, but I've got a C64C coming. And it was so many of these keyboards and one Commodore 64 that doesn't quite work right, but I'll turn that into a long-term project. But just don't know if anyone has any information on it. I would like to complete this keyboard just for the sake of not throwing it away. I mean, this is all old technology. It's not going to get made again. It's not coming back. I need to put the shift lock key back in place. So throwing it away seems a little bit like a sin, honestly. So I don't know if this is going to provide any information that's useful to anyone else, but other important thing to note, these keycaps, which actually do look much nicer, to be perfectly honest, than the regular Commodore keycaps, with a little bit more, I don't know, stylish a font, don't fit onto a regular Commodore. They're an entirely different size. The holes in them are slightly small. If I actually could, I'd alter them, but then again, destroying it kind of seems like some sort of weird sin as well, doesn't it? It's a piece of ancient technology that has survived 40 years come this August. Now, I do have a little bit of advice for you. If you have one of these and it's complete, and you're absolutely intent on getting it up and running, while I've taken them out, I found out that if I take... Let me grab my electronics dental pick here. If I take these and pull them up, I can then put a piece of double-sided sticky tape behind it. Because these have lost a tiny bit of elasticity, which means even when you push them down as hard as you can, it doesn't force stronger contact, unlike the regular Commodore 64 plungers. So if you put a piece of double-sided tape behind it, it allows you to force a tiny bit of extra contact on them. And that did make it work. It just took a lot more hammering than I was comfortable with, and honestly, I'm playing with this for fun. I figured it was better just to get more keyboards, and a friend decided to send me like 4. I mean, I know I've shown you 3, but that's not like counting the bag of extra keys I have, among other things. I only had 3 circuit boards. But anyway, I don't know if this is going to help anyone at all, but this is just something that I had to track down through talking to various other collectors and people on Reddit. And if it gives you any information you might need, I hope it's of some help. So, thank you all for watching, and peace.